Fluent and chill, yeah, we call it how it's played. From the field to the court, every legend gets weighed. Fourth quarter heat over 2 minutes drill. If you can't handle the truth, better chill with the skill. LeBron and MJ, we break that smoke.
Well, the closest thing to perfection, what does that make you?
Stats don't lie, we just let them spill. This is real talk sports, welcome to Fluent and Chill. Fluent and chill, yeah, we call it how it's played. From the field to the court, every legend gets weighed.
Last time Cat saw Wemby gave him work. Now, is that going to be the same case? Sebastian, I don't care about your Cowboys. I'm not here to talk about your Cowboys, brother. I couldn't care less. Even if I tried to care less about your Cowboys, I couldn't. I'm here to talk about the Emirates Cup. And the fact that Charles Barkley stays complaining. That's all Charles does is complain. All Charles Barkley does, and this shit is really starting to bother me, because all Charles does is just shit on the new school guys. Yo, it ain't 1995 anymore. It's just not. And I'm sick of it, man. I'm tired of Charles with this. I am sick of him. Yes, he is not just he's not the funny fat dude on TV, right? No, he is not. He is not the funny fat dude on TV. He is actually the guy who was an awesome basketball player. When being a ball player meant a lot. I'm not gonna argue that. But to say stuff like I want to make sure that I don't misquote him when I say or when I talk about Charles. I don't want to misquote him, so I want to make sure that I get it right, what exactly it was that he said. He said, quote, "I'm disappointed that we have to make an in-season tournament to make these guys more money." How many of the guys on these teams, James, Luka, how many of these guys have outwardly said that they're playing for the guys who aren't making that kind of bread? How many guys have said that? Now, yes, Charles, back 30 years ago, 35 years ago, your game was all that mattered. Yes, sure. But these guys are making so much money today that, yes, a lot of times it doesn't. But in this particular situation, with this in-season tournament, it makes the game so much better. It puts more eyes on people. It puts more eyes on the games. And I'm sick of listening to Charles talk about how much the old school is better. And yo, it ain't 1995 anymore, man. It's not. It is not 1995 anymore. It's not 1992 anymore. Those days are over. They're finished. And I'm sick of listening to that shit from these older dudes, man. Don't get me wrong. I am an advocate of old school basketball, but it's not at the expense of what's going on today. No, it is not. And I'm not trying to hear that, man. I'm sick of hearing Charles Barkley talk about this brand of basketball like everything today sucks, because no, it doesn't. It does not. No, it does not suck. That's just not true. We got great basketball going on in today's game. Not only do we have great basketball, we got great basketball players in today's game. Well, if I played today, yes. If you played today, Charles, you would be fucking awesome. If you played today, Charles, you would be fantastic. But guess what, Charles? You're not playing today. But you know who is playing today? Evan Mobley playing today. Giannis is playing today. Bam Adebayo is playing today. Wemby is playing today. Cat is playing today. These guys are playing today. And they're awesome at what they do. They're not good. They're fantastic. And with them being that, they should be praised about it. If you think about what's going on in the NFL, like, do you listen to NFL guys on the regular shit on the game? And I'm sorry that I use that sort of language, but it just gets corny. It does, guys. It gets corny listening to these dudes talk about the game the way that they do and how they do. Do you hear guys in the NFL talk about, all NFL players talk about how bad the game is today? Yes, we do have flag football in the Pro Bowl. Yeah, that's going on. No doubt about that. We got flag football going on in the Pro Bowl. And I am, to be honest with you, I'm mortified by it. But you know what I'm not mortified by? I'm not mortified by the game today. Yeah, you might not be able to body slam the quarterback like you did in 1989, but that doesn't mean that the game sucks. No, it's still awesome players. Walter Payton ain't around no more. Yes, and I was around when Sweetness was running. Yes, I was. I was around when Sweetness was running. I was around when Eddie George was running. I was around when Emmitt Smith was running. And these guys were awesome. But you know what? I'm also around when Jonathan Taylor's running. I'm also around when Derrick Henry is running. And Derrick Henry is fucking phenomenal. And I don't hear none of these older running backs talk about Derrick Henry like that. You know why? Because they don't need to. Yo, we had our chance in the sun. I'm just tired of hearing that from these dudes, man. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing these old school dudes. And I'm not just going to say these old school dudes. Charles Barkley in particular. I'm sick of listening to him talk about the old school like the old school is just, that's basketball, and that's what basketball was, is, and will ever be. No, it won't. No, it won't. It's not the 1900s anymore. It is not 1985 anymore. It's not, man. It is not. So, with that being said, because I also got the game on right here. I got the San Antonio Knicks game on right here, and it's awesome, right? It's absolutely awesome. So, I'm sick of it, man. I am. I'm sick of it. So I really have to. I really felt like I had to say something about this. Hold on, let me get my man Tony Tone in here really quickly. Yep. I just felt like I had to. I just felt like I had to say something about it because it's getting old, and I'm tired of hearing it. Every time I turn around, these guys have some nonsense to say about old school basketball and new school basketball. And yo, it's not 1985 anymore, man. It's not 1990 anymore. Those days are over. Yes, I understand that 35 years ago, your game or being an awesome player meant something. I get that. No doubt about that. I 100% understand that you stood, your merit was on how good you were as a basketball player. Okay, that's not the case today. But that doesn't take away from what the game is today. We still got awesome players in the game. And to talk about the in-season tournament, like the in-season tournament is just sad. You would have played in the in-season tournament, Charles. You 100%. If the in-season tournament was if David Stern had came up with an idea to have an in-season tournament, and with that in-season tournament, the Bulls would end up playing Philly to get to the Cup championship, you would have played in it. If it was an extra $150,000, I'm not even going to the $500,000 that these guys are getting paid today. No, Tone, I'm not even going that far. I'm just going off of, let's just say what market value was back then. Let's say it was $75,000 in 1990. You would have played, Tone. You would have played, Charles. You 100% would have played. Not only would you have played, you would have played your ass off. And you would have busted your ass for that. And I hear plenty of these players who are in the Cup championship who are making a load of money. They're playing for the 11th guy on the bench who hasn't seen that kind of bread. That's who they playing for. They playing for him. So I'm tired of listening to Charles talk about how bad the game is today. I'm tired of it, man. I'm just sick of it. This thing is – I wasn't a big fan of the in-season tournament when it first started because I just thought it was a gimmick. Only to find out that, you know what? This shit works. It does. This thing works. And I'm feeling it. I'm 100% feeling it.
You said so much there. And some of it I agree with. Some of it I disagree with. Some of it I feel needs further discussion. So I agree. It's not the 1900s anymore.
It's not, Tone.
It's a very different game today than it was.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that 100%. However, that doesn't mean that style of play is bad. It's different. And I think guys like Charles Barkley, I think guys like Shaq, I think guys like, we're going to talk about Penny Hardaway. I think they are so tired. Dr. J, like you hear lots of older players too. We talked to Bob Pettit. I think their problem that they maybe don't realize is that people are crapping on their game so much that they feel instead of defending theirs, they're like, if you're going to shit on me, I'm going to shit on you. And now the young guys are like, now they're like, well, they're shitting on us. We're going to shit on them. Not realizing that it's this chicken or egg. I don't know who started it. I really don't. But it's because they talk bad about me, so I'm gonna talk bad about them. I talk bad about them, so they talk bad about me. And it's this cycle.
Sure.
We had Tim Hardaway on, right? And what did he tell us? What did he tell us?
It's all about the bread.
It's all about the money. He said it's all about the money. They're not mad at the game. They're mad that a guy like, give me a guy that makes $30 million a year right now.
Julius Randle.
Give me a guy that doesn't deserve to be making $30 million a year.
Who was on the books for $30 million and they overpaid for him? To be honest with you, Tony, I can't say that there's not one guy that's on the books for that kind of bread.
You said Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Where does Julius Randle rank? Is he a top 10 player?
No.
Is he a top 20 player?
No.
Is he a top 30 player?
We could have a conversation about that.
All right.
Definitely top 35. It's not 35 players in the game better than him.
So if I stop at Julius Randle making 30 million and say, all right, he's making 30 million and he is not in the top 25.
Yep.
There's 25 guys that played in the NBA that were top 25 guys going, I made $1 million. And I'm way better than Julius Randle. He's making 30.
Yep.
I'm way better than Tyler Hero. He's making 30. I'm way better than Jordan Poole. He's making 31. I'm way better than Emmanuel Quickley. He's making 32. I'm way better than CJ McCollum, making 30. I'm way better than, like, you name the guy, right? I'm bet Jonathan Kuminga. No, Kyle Kuzma is making $22 million. Now, in today's environment, that's a steal for a player.
Yep. That's a little bit of money.
However, Magic Johnson signed a deal that was $1 million a year, and people went, whoa.
I was also in 1981, Tone. It's a lot of dough back then.
But I'm just saying, they're looking at it going, I got paid $1 million, and everybody freaked out that I was getting paid $1 million. And Kyle Kuzma's making 22.
Right.
I didn't make 22 in my career.
Yep.
As Magic Johnson, he made 20. I'm not saying it's right. I'm telling you that is part of it. So that's why I say I agree and I disagree, because Chuck saying that today's game sucks because XYZ, I disagree with. I've told you this a million times. I love today's game. It's right up my alley.
I do too.
I like it even more now in the playoffs because they let a little bit more physicality. I think that's what the game's missing. I'm not saying go back clotheslining people.
No, we don't want to do that.
Allow a defender to put on. Richard Jefferson just said it today, I believe. Let a defender put an arm on you. I couldn't believe I saw an offensive player push off and they called it a defensive foul, and I went, what?
Yeah.
Like it's the pendulum. The pendulum has swung so much to offense because that's what people pay to see, and that's how you make money. That it's. I understand what they're saying about the game, that it should be 50-50. I don't believe so. I believe it should be 60-40. 65-35 offense to defense, but it's like 80-20. And I tell you this all the time. I think defenders today have the hardest job in the world, especially perimeter defenders. They can't do anything. If you're a good perimeter defender today, I'd say you'd be one of the greatest perimeter defenders of all time 20, 30 years ago when you could do more. So that's why I say I understand where he's coming from, even though I disagree with what he's saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but here's the thing, Tone.
Because you said it, the 1900s. You say it like it was a million years ago, and then
I know it sounds crazy.
And then you get guys saying those guys couldn't play today. Yes, they could.
They 100% could. But Tone, you do realize that 1992, like not 1992, 1990. In September of 1990.
You know what happened in 1990?
In December of 1990.
You know what happened in 1990?
What happened in 1990, Tone?
Chubb Rock jumps upon the scene. Okay.
Yes, he did. 100%. Chubb Rock jumped up on the scene. You know what's crazy about that, Tone? That you just said that? That was 35 years ago.
I understand that.
That was a million. You know what's happened since 1990 and today? And we stand. The problem is that there's people who still live there. They still live in 1991, 1987. Tone, it's been almost 1986, which was the year that Bird won the league MVP for the 3rd straight year. Tone, we're going on 40 years now. Like, that time has passed. And we don't have every player in the league. Not every player, let me rephrase that. We don't have every player that played in the past that thinks that these guys today are soft, that thinks that these guys today are whack. Because I sat down and listened to Larry Bird marvel at Joker. He looking at Joker and saying, quote, I would love to go up against him, but I would love to play with him too. Because he's a fantastic player. He sees how good Joker is. He sees what Joker's skill set is. He sees how awesome Joker is in terms of a ball player. But I would love to. Great players want to test their skill set against other great players.
You don't think Patrick Ewing would love to have Steph Curry sitting out there and Klay Thompson sitting out there that he could kick it out to and just watch him shoot a 3 so he doesn't get beat up every 5 seconds?
He's going to get beat up anyway. But the issue that I have, Tone, is that when these older guys tell me, Shaq and I used to have this conversation for years. Shaq and I used to go back and forth about this, about how the game is today. I'm like, Shaq, the game ain't what it was when you played, man. It's not.
Yeah, but okay. So then you see a clip and some, 15-year-old snot-nosed kid who thinks he knows everything and knows nothing about Wemby's the only player that could ever shut down Shaq.
No. No.
Then you, of course, you get defensive, and it's like, relax, Unc. You don't know hoops, Unc. And I'm like, dude, I don't need to know hoops. I know physics.
Yes.
Shaq would turn around and he would fly into the 5th row. He would. And that's not a knock on Wemby. I love Wemby. I think Wemby's going to, if Wemby gives me 12 healthy years, Wemby's going to be in the conversation for the best player we've ever seen ever.
That's a fact.
12 healthy years. That's not controversial, but I know that if Shaq turned baseline on him, he would be sitting in the front row just watching Shaq throw down the dunk. Yes. That's what would happen. And it's not a knock. It's same with like Chet. Chet's great. What's Chet going to do against Shaq?
Barkley
was 6'4" and he would body him. And that's okay to admit that. I had this argument today. There's this guy who like is obsessed with like disproving the myths of Michael Jordan. And I'm like, my guy, you don't realize you are what you hate. You're trying to disprove these myths so bad that you're creating your own about LeBron. And it's okay to say, I've told you this a million times. Who's my favorite player? Everybody knows it.
Magic.
And do I ever say tragic magic didn't happen?
No, you don't. Mm-mm.
It happened. It sucked. Right? Mm-hmm. It sucked. Jordan scores 63 points against the Celtics. Do you know why it goes into overtime?
Because he missed the free throws.
No, that's incorrect. He got fouled on a 3-pointer.
He made those free throws to send it into overtime. I apologize.
Because they only gave 2, not 3, on a 3-pointer.
The game should have been over, actually.
But if he hits that 3, it's over.
Yeah, game's
right?
over.
So it's like there's other games too. There's games where he took 1 shot in the 4th quarter. It's for everybody. It's all quite literally everything you say about one player. If you go and look, you can find it about the other. Every single one, because none of them are perfect.
Yeah.
And so when I say Shaq would destroy Wemby in the post, that's not a knock on Wemby. It's not. It's not.
But it's true though. I mean, if we're being honest about this, I'm just Tone again, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm just tired of there being such a divide. And Charles is one of the major reasons why there's this divide amongst the older guys and what the game is today. He's a major reason because of that. And like I said to you a little while ago, Tone, we don't talk about Jim Brown being whack as a running back. We don't talk about Walter Payton. We don't talk about O.J. Simpson. Because despite what you guys know, you guys out there in TikTok, despite what you know about O.J. Simpson as the other guy, just so you know, O.J. Simpson was an awesome running back. He wasn't good. He was like what you see Derrick Henry doing and Jonathan Taylor and all of those. That was O.J.
Just say this: 2,000 yards in a 14-game season. That's it. That's all I have to say. Like you shouldn't need any more if you know.
Right. To be honest with you, that's it. Exactly that. But we don't talk. We don't talk about. They don't talk about these guys. They do the same thing in baseball. What baseball is today, they don't talk about older base. Don't talk about Ken Griffey and Derek Jeter and Curtis Flood and Pete Rose. They don't talk about those guys like that.
No, but hold on a second. In baseball, there are people who still say Babe Ruth is the GOAT.
Yep.
And people don't say, well, he went up against a bunch of plumbers and carpenters. He did.
And he played in the dead ball era. He didn't play against black people. Even though
those things are true, they do. So that's what I'm saying. So you're kind of like, that's my point, is that Barkley is in a situation where if he says, yeah, the players today are great, and the players today would be great in any era, then you get these idiots, no offense, actually take offense to it. I don't care if you're one of these kids who says, see, told you guys all sucked. Our guys are all better. And it's like, no. Like I always have they're more athletic now. Are they? Are they?
It's interesting too, Tone, because this comment right here.
Does more athletic mean better?
No,
is Stromile Swift better than Jokic? He was significantly more athletic.
Yeah, it does not. No, it does not. And this comment right here is very interesting, Tone, because I thought about this. This one right here, where Hove Who Matter, he said, chill. No, not this one. I apologize. This one right here.
Although that one's interesting. I'm actually more upset about that one than anything else.
I don't know who Steve Rogers is. Sorry.
Steve Rogers is Captain America. They did this beautiful farewell thing, showed him as 100 years old, where he went back to be with his woman, Agent Carter, and they had this beautiful life together, and he grew old and should have died. Yeah. And instead of bringing in and saying, here's all these new characters that they've spent time to build up, they're bringing old man back to for Avengers Doomsday, which for us Avengers fans is like kind of like, dude, why would you do that?
I'm not a fan of I'm in a minority, Tone.
Oh, you know what? Sorry. Let me quick, just because Babe Ruth, you're right, Alonzo. Alonzo said Babe Ruth passed as a white player who was black. Do your research. You're actually his parents are of German descent, but there is some question about his black.
Yeah.
You're right. There is some question there. So we meant he wasn't playing against a lot of black players. Sorry, go ahead.
This comment right here, I think that this is really interesting because I think that it's right. If Barkley would have won a title, he would be less sour. And you know why, Tone?
Yes.
And the reason why I feel like that is because there are guys who won an NBA championship who Barkley thinks he's better than. And I think he's right. But because they won the NBA championship, like a guy like Chris Bosh, Barkley is better than him. But
no question.
Barkley is better than him, right? Barkley is better than Anthony Davis. He's better than him. But because they won NBA championships, these are the guys in conversations with Barkley, and they're put ahead of Barkley. And I think he takes offense to that. So, and I think that spills over to the rest of the game, right? Of what the game is today. When in reality, right? When in reality, it shouldn't. The game doesn't stop, and the game shouldn't suffer because you didn't win. And you shouldn't be sour at the game because you didn't win. All right, I get the fact that there are some guys who won championships that shouldn't have won or were lucky enough to win championships, and you weren't. You didn't have that luck on your side, right? But with that being said, I do think that there's guys that play in the game today who are awesome. And we need to start recognizing that these guys today are awesome players. Tone, I'm watching the San Antonio Spurs got a 7'5" dude on their team that's pulling up from three and throwing the ball between his legs. If you told me, Tone, in 1990, or if you told me in 1987, when I'm watching Ralph Sampson, chill, that's the future of basketball right there. That's what the NBA going to look like in 40 years. Guys this big, handling the basketball like Isaiah. I'm like, get the hell. Guys this big, this size, handling the basketball like Isaiah Thomas.
Why wouldn't you believe it when you saw Ralph doing it? Ralph was taking the rebound and going coast to coast.
Yes, he was doing that. Mm-hmm.
So if someone told me that, I would have said that would be awesome. I wouldn't say, well, it's only because today's players suck. I would you know what I mean? That. So to your title part, let me go back to that for a second. Yeah, because he's sitting here listening to a guy, Draymond Green, being like, you can't sit at our table. You never won a chip. Yeah. Well, what? You were like the fourth option on two of them on that team. The fourth guy on the team is remember when Isaiah Thomas was sitting in they used to do that show where they all sat around on the couches. I forget the name of that show. I used to love that show.
I know where you're going with this on
And
NBA TV.
he said, "Listen, I'm okay if Jordan says he doesn't want me on the dream team. I'm okay if Magic says he doesn't want me on the dream team. I'm okay if Larry Bird says he doesn't want me on the dream team. But Scottie Pippen,
not you, yo, not you.
And he was the number 2.
Yes.
Imagine a number 4 telling you can't sit at our table because you don't have a chip.
Not you.
Imagine, put it this way. I'm going to overdo it. How disrespectful it is. Imagine Patrick McCaw looking at LeBron and Tim Duncan and saying, "You can't sit here. This is only for guys who three-peated."
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
No, I can't. That would sound nuts.
Although that'd be really fun.
Yeah, it would sound incredible to me. But the name of that show, Tone, was called Open Court. I remember that.
Open Court, yes.
That was the name of that show. It was called Open Court.
Absolutely.
But I apologize. This was the rant that we had to start, guys. And I heard Charles Barkley say this, and it started to grind my gears. Meanwhile, we got an awesome game going on between the Knicks and the Spurs. Jalen Brunson is getting busy. OG Anunoby is cracking the long ball, and De'Aaron Fox is doing what De'Aaron Fox does. I told y'all guys, y'all thought I was ridiculous when I told y'all that I thought De'Aaron Fox was one of the best point guards in the game. I can make an argument for De'Aaron Fox being a top 5 league guard in the game. I don't think it's 7 league guards in the game. I think that SGA, Luka, Curry, Brunson, those 4, yes. And then we get into the Cade, Fox, Maxey, Trae Young. We get in that space. That's where I'm at with him. He's in the conversation with any of those guys. 100% he is. Good pass. Good shot from Keldon Johnson for 3. We got a tie ball game. Tone, and you know me, because here's the thing about you, Tone, which I always thought was interesting. Tone, just so you guys know, Tone is the consummate conspiracy theorist. Not only is he the consummate conspiracy theorist, Tone, for being around me for all the years that he's been around me, recognizes when I give him history lessons, he knows that history repeats itself. Tone, what if I told you that the 2 cup champions bounced in round 1 of the playoffs?
I have been saying all week since the Spurs shocked OKC. By the way, let's be honest, since the Spurs shocked OKC, because we knew the Spurs were gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think other than our friend Michelle Beadle, because she's a Spurs fan, I don't think anyone outside of Spurs fans thought they'd be this good this quick. Especially with Wemby being, I think it was his first game back, was that game. They looked like they can hang with OKC any day of the week. It wasn't just like a fluke thing. I said, if you're the Knicks, because the Knicks have aspirations of winning a title this year, the Spurs are very much long-term. If you're the Knicks and you're looking back and you're like, the last 2 years, the team that has won the NBA Cup has gotten bounced in the first round, like you said.
Bounced.
I'm almost like, I'm okay if the Spurs win. As horrible as that sounds, because I want the Spurs to lose in the first round, because why don't you tell them what the loser of the NBA Cup did in the last 2 years?
So just so you guys know, the loser of the NBA Cup, which is Oklahoma City last year, NBA champions the next year. The Indiana Pacers, the next year, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then the year after that, they were in the NBA championship. And they lost in Game 7. So I just want to put that on your mind, guys. Yes, sir. I just want to, I'd like to put that on your mind. So to your point, Tone, it might not be a bad thing if you're the Knicks to lose in the Cup championship. It might not be a bad thing.
Because I'll tell you this right now. You know me.
Yep.
I always say, like, I believe history repeats itself. I believe all the same. So I believe the trend. I believe show me what you show me. So I believe. No, I'm going to do this. Excuse me. If the Knicks win at the final buzzer, I will be calling out my friend, okay, and I will be putting a bet on the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA final. And I will be putting a bet on the Knicks losing in the first round.
You know what? And I'm taking that action, Tone. I am 100% taking that action. Yes. I don't care who they play.
Worst thing that's going to happen is whatever money I put down, I lose. So I'm okay with that because I know that the odds
through the roof.
Bet, it's not like that dude. Who's that dude? There's a dude that bet like $500,000 to win $5,000. That I don't know. OKC was I don't know what the hell the bet was. A stupid bet because and he lost. And I'm like, no, I'm not putting $500K for 5,000. Like that's dumb. I'll put 5,000 for 500K. I'll do that.
Let me put this on your mind, so
because right now, I just so we're clear, because I do want because the first quarter just ended. Spurs, it's been back and forth, which is great. It's a close game. Spurs leading 30-28. What is your prediction for the game? And then tell me what you're going to tell me.
I had the Knicks winning this before the game started. I had the Knicks winning this, and
you had the Raptors winning it when we did our thing.
They were my dark horse to win it.
I had the Knicks losing to the Lakers in the finals, so
they were my dark horse. With that being said, Tone, you just brought up a really interesting point. So, if it's today, we just fast forward the clock, Tone. It is April 18th, 2026, and the first round of the playoffs started. Tone, here go $100. Knicks got Cleveland in round one because that's what it would be if the season ended today. That's what it would be. Tone, here go $100. You got the Knicks. You got the Knicks and Cleveland in round one. Who you like?
Did the Knicks win or lose this game?
They lost.
They lost? They're beating Cleveland.
If they won this tournament, though,
they're losing to Cleveland in the first round.
Because I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts, Stone.
Yes.
If you got the Knicks as the number 2 seed and Cleveland as the number 7 seed, what kind of action are you getting?
100%. 100%.
What kind of action are you getting if the Knicks, if you saying, yo, I got Cleveland beating them in round one? It's got to be at least 20-1. At minimum, it's 20-1. And I'm taking it. Here go $100. I'll take that action. 100% I'll take that action. Yes. I will definitely take that action.
That's amazing. I'm trying to just, how is that even possible?
So really quickly, Tone, Spanish Jose, who is a Spurs fan, he says this conversation started with him saying, quote, if Wemby wins a title in year 3, we have to have serious conversations. Actually, we don't. And his rebuttal to that was, Timmy won it in year 2, and he shot up through the rankings fast. That's because Timmy walked into the game as a top 5 player. That's number 1. Number 2, he actually lived up to that. He was first team All-Pro as a rookie, second team All-Defense as a rookie, first team All-Pro. So he's a top 5 player in year 2. There are no injury issues with him. He's playing every night. He's the best 4-man in the game. That's going on. So we don't have to have serious conversations about Wemby if they win the NBA championship this year. No, we don't. Because you still have to do the other stuff. That shit, man. This is why Charles Barkley feels the way he does. Because this winning thing, which I'm a fan of, let's be clear about this. I am a huge fan of winning. I care about winning just as much as anybody, if not more. But you know what else I care about? I care about you doing the other stuff. I 100% care about that. You know why I care about that, Spanish Jose? Because you're the same guy. You are that guy who, after Kawhi Leonard won in 2019, if he decided to wrap it up and never play again, you think he's a top 10 player all time, don't you? I bet you think that he's a top 10 player all time if he decides after 2019, I don't want to play no more. Because he's done enough in 8 years to be a top 10 player all time. No, that's not the way that works. That's not the way that works. Absolutely not. No. And that's why Charles Barkley, on the one hand, I can understand his, not frustration, but deprivation ain't the word I'm looking for. Disdain, that's the word I'm looking for. I can understand his disdain for certain players. I could dig that. No doubt about it. I could dig that. So, foul and 1. Tone, you know what? I think I'm going to take your advice. Let the Knicks win this tournament.
Oh,
let the Knicks win this damn tournament. I'm taking $100, and whoever they play in round 1, I'm putting it on them. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking it. I'm taking $100 and I'm putting it on them. That's what I'm doing. Yep. 100% I'm doing that because the one thing that I found out, history does repeat itself. Yes, it does. 100% it does. So,
All right. It is okay. So your prediction. So okay. So are you changing your pick?
I already picked the Knicks to win. I did. I picked the Knicks to win, so I'm sticking with that. But if they lose, yeah, I'm taking some bread and I'm putting it on the Knicks to get bounced in round one.
You know what? I'm gonna. Okay. What I'm watching, I think the Spurs are going to win this.
It looks
I
like
think the Spurs are going to win this, and I want to go back to something you said about Charles Barkley, and then obviously we got some topics. We're watching the game. Obviously give us your comments as you're watching. 38-35 Spurs, 10 minutes, 41-35 Spurs, 10 minutes left in the second quarter. For those of you that do not have access, I've been hearing a lot of people telling me they don't have access to even watch this game, which is crazy.
It's on Prime Video. That's why it's not on ESPN. It's not on TNT. It's not on League Pass. No, it's on Prime Video. So
I got Prime. Doesn't everybody?
I do too. I do too.
I guess not. So oh yes, Barkley. That's what I was going to talk about. So Barkley. Here's the thing. The in-season tournament. Why do they need to have an in-season tournament to get people to play hard?
Be interested.
To be interested, right? That's what he said.
Sure.
Was he interested 82 games a year?
I think he was, Tone. Yeah.
I don't. I don't think anybody was fully focused for 82 games every single season. I think they played as many games as they could, but I don't think it was like they played. Do you think they played their hardest, intense every second?
No.
So it's not like they weren't doing that. That being said, he played like 30 years ago.
Yep.
Times have changed. And all of them are millionaires. All of them. And so money's not the motivation anymore. They played hard because they wanted to make that $1 million because that $1 million was a life changer. Well, now they're coming out of college making $10 million. So it's not the same. Love it or hate it, it's not the same. So is it better to say, well, they're not engaged as much as we would like them to be? They aren't doing the things we want them to do as players. And we say, well, so now what? We just let the product be bad?
No, we don't want to do that.
Let the product be bad? No,
we don't want to do that.
Your job is to come up with ways. And guess what? This idea was around. Soccer's been doing it forever.
Right.
The in-season term. So they saw a problem. And they said, okay, how can we fix it? Now, sometimes you try to fix things and it works. Sometimes you try to fix things and it doesn't. This worked. We were all very skeptical about an in-season tournament.
I was one of those people.
I was one of those
people. I didn't like it at all, Tony.
And now I like it so much that I want it to be the cherry on the top of All-Star Weekend. I don't want there to be an All-Star game.
Good shot. That's a damn good shot.
So
what I'm thinking, keep going, Tone, because that's a conversation that we need. What you just said is a conversation that we definitely need to have.
They've tried everything to get the All-Star game to be competitive. It's not.
Yep.
So you know what? Let's just call it for what it is and say, hey, the All-Star guys aren't going to play hard for whatever reason in the middle of the season. They're just not.
Yep.
Okay, well, we found something that will get the teams to play hard. So why not do the skills challenge and the three-point shootout and the this and the that? And then at the Sunday night, with all the best players in the world and all the fans there who voted and did the boop da chi, they're there to watch a game that's going to be competitive. That's going to be for something that, just like the All-Star game, doesn't count for stats, doesn't count to the regular season. It counts strictly to say that I won the in-season tournament.
Well, here's the thing.
Listen, I hate this, but
yep,
especially for certain teams,
yep,
I'm gonna be raising an in-season championship banner.
Well, here's the thing, Tone.
And I would do it the next game.
Well, of course, you're going to do it the next game, no doubt.
Like, I wouldn't wait till next season. I win the in-season tournament, the next home game. Why not? Make it fun.
My question to you is, a lot of these guys who have been to the All-Star, who've been to All-Star Weekend plenty of times, and not only have they been to All-Star Weekend plenty of times, it now has become tedious to them, where they would much rather not even go, because what they've done is they've extended All-Star Weekend. I say that to say, Tone, why am I sticking around in Sacramento or Portland to watch the in-season tournament championship when I've been to the All-Star game 15 straight years? I've been to the All-Star game. I've been to All-Star Weekend 10 straight years. Why am I sticking around to watch this? And on top of that, why are the people who want to see the best players in the world play the best pickup game in the world, why are they investing in this at All-Star Weekend?
Well, one, they're not watching the best players in the world play the best pickup game in the world. They're watching the best players in the world have a layup line. And they're complaining about the game.
Yep.
And they're complaining about the lack of effort. And they're complaining about the lack of
competition. Sure.
Competition. Yeah. So they're not getting those things. So why do you want the All-Stars? Because you want to see all the best players in the world. Well, you are. You're going to see them do 3-point shootouts, dunk offs, skills competitions, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to see them. And guess what? If you're a fan watching an intense game, and now you're sitting next to LeBron, Curry, okay, Wemby's in it, but Jalen Brunson's in it too. Luka, you're sitting next to around all these guys. Well, that's better. I'd rather have that. I'd rather be sitting next to. I don't give me an also that I have him. I'd rather be sitting next to Joker and his brothers.
You'd rather be sitting next to Sengun,
watching the game.
You'd rather be sitting next to Sengun, like with those guys hang out. And what happens? And here's the other part to that, Tone. What happens if Denver is in the in-season tournament championship? Because we got no.
Excellent.
We don't have that. What happens if the Lakers are in the in-season tournament championship?
Even better.
But the question is how do we navigate this? Okay, because I do understand that the Pro Bowl used to be in the middle of the season. Well, not the middle of the season. It used to be right before the Super Bowl. That's when the Pro Bowl was.
Well, originally it was 2 weeks after. It was a week after, 2 or 1 week after.
It was a week after the Super Bowl.
It was a week after the Super Bowl.
And now it's in the middle.
And there was no, and now it was in between. Yes, the conference championship game, because there's a 2 weeks now until the Super Bowl.
Sure.
And so they plopped it down in the middle so that you're not just sitting around for 2 weeks. Yes.
Right. So with that being said, how would we do that for scheduling? Because what we've done with the in-season tournament is we've gotten interest from the casual fan now. And because it's early in the season, the All-Star game ain't until more than half the season is already over. I want to keep that casual fan where he is now. That's why I have this situated where it is, where we start this in December, or we start the Cup tournament in November, and we have the championship game in November. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move it to late December, Tone, or we're gonna put it in January, and then
I would put it right after the Super Bowl,
the championship game.
Yeah.
Okay, so the championship game is the week after the bowl game.
You can have more in-season tournament games. Just make it a bigger schedule. Make it a bigger bracket.
You want to stretch it out a little bit?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I just think
you can literally play one in-season tournament game a month, 2 a month. There's no limit. It's made up anyways.
Right.
So if it's made up, who cares? I can literally do whatever I want because there's no format to it. I can change it. All I know is this: people care, the players care about the in-season tournament. Nobody gives a crap about the All-Star game.
Nobody cares about the All-Star
game.
And
we've been trying to fix it for years, and all I think we're doing is making it worse. Now, that being said, to prove me wrong, who knows? This World versus US might be a huge success, and okay, but I don't think so.
I don't think so neither, because you still got to compete, and I don't think those guys are going to compete. I don't.
I don't necessarily blame them.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to compete.
I don't blame them. All right, so I'm gonna grab something real quick.
Yep.
I will one thing, Joe, because I got this in TikTok. What do we think about All-Star game like the MLB where the winner gets home court in the finals?
No.
Well, they took that away from baseball. So that didn't work. So
the reason why that logic doesn't work, and I know you got to handle something really quickly, Tom.
Yeah.
I got you covered. The reason why that logic doesn't work is because what you do now when you do that is you make the regular season irrelevant.
Yeah.
That's what you do now with the regular season. All of these games that we've played
like
now
I go 70-12.
That doesn't matter.
And you go 52-30, and you get home court.
Yes, you do, because the Eastern Conference ended up winning the All-Star game.
Well, probably because the Western Conference won the All-Star game.
Yeah, or the Western Conference won the All-Star game. So now you end up getting home court advantage.
And then the All-Star game becomes East-West again, which we've already established doesn't work.
Sure.
So that's all I'm saying.
I just think that
I see your issue with it, but I'm just like, there's no need. The game sucks.
Nobody cares about Tone. I can't tell you. I have not watched the All-Star game in years. I can't tell you the last. I remember.
Hold on. What you were there last year? You didn't even watch the game?
No.
You were too busy rubbing elbows. All right, I'll be right back.
Give me just one day. Fluent and chill. What it takes, stay real. Chill town, hoop sports, fluent with the feel. Break down sharp like a highlight reel. Welcome to the show, we stay fluent and chill.
I haven't been interested in it. I haven't in a long time. I have not been interested in the All-Star game. I wish I could say that I was. The All-Star game used to be the highlight of the weekend. It was the dunk contest, and then after the dunk contest, after the dunk contest, and I'm not lying to you. I'm not. I did not watch the All-Star game last year. No, I didn't. No, I did not. I'm not lying. I did not watch the All-Star game last year. With the dunk contest, it used to be the dunk contest, and then with the dunk contest, then the All-Star game was on Sunday. I did not watch it. I'll be lying to you if I said I watched the All-Star game, because no, I did not. No, I did not watch the All-Star game. No, I didn't. I haven't watched the All-Star game, actually sat down and watched the All-Star game in years. It's been years since I actually sat down and watched the All-Star game. So, Papa, you can say whatever you want. You don't know if I watched the All-Star game or not. You wasn't there. I was actually there in San Francisco, and I didn't watch the game. No, I didn't. No, I did not. And why would if I'm thinking about the All-Star game and how little interest I've had in it, why would I watch it? Yeah, why would I watch the All-Star game? What am I watching it for? I don't care, to be honest with you. I just don't care. I wish I could say I cared, but I don't care. Right? I don't. The interesting thing is the interesting thing, Papa, is that we were in the city. That's the part that you miss. We were in the city. We weren't at the game. That's the difference. Like we were not in the building. No, we were in the city. We were not at the All-Star game. No, and Papa, he's another one of those young dudes that this game is so much better than you dudes in the 90s. Like, I don't waste my time with dudes like you. And the reason why I don't waste my time with dudes like you, because you don't really talk basketball. You don't know how to talk basketball. You're a child. To me, you're a child, and I won't even entertain you anymore. Matter of fact, go do something else. With that, I say that to say that there are some things that need to be fixed. And I feel like the NBA is working out, right? I feel like the NBA is working out a lot of things to fix what the game has become. Like, for example, the in-season tournament. And they are handling the Knicks. They 100% are handling the Knicks. Wemby looks fantastic right now as a rim protector. They are definitely handling the Knicks, which they need to do. Wemby's actually up playing in the passing lane, getting the ball out the castle for open court dunks. It looks great, right? It actually looks great. And because of that, right? Because of that, they may win. Yes. They may very well win this game. Yeah, they may very well win. And me can't say that I want to see. I can't say that I wouldn't mind seeing the Spurs win it. I think the Knicks are going to win, but I can't say that I wouldn't mind seeing the Spurs win. Because to be honest with you, I don't want to see the Knicks get bounced in the first round. I don't. And Papa, you ain't say you didn't catch me lying doing anything. You don't even know if first of all, how do you know I was there? Hold on for a second, Tone. Papa, how do you know I was there? I want to start this conversation between you and me. How do you know I was there? You lying. You didn't see me at the game. You lying. You did not see me at the game. You lying. That's such a lie. He did not see me at the game. You know why he ain't see me at the game? Because I wasn't there. He lying to y'all. This dude is a troll. No, Brady, what I said was I was in the city. I ain't say I was at the game because I wasn't at the game. We were at All-Star Weekend last year. Players' choice. We were at All-Star Weekend. None of us were at the game. I know for a fact I wasn't at the game. I wasn't. So for him to say he saw me at the game, he lying to you guys. Because if I'll tell you what I'll do. Prove you saw me at the game. Prove it. If you saw me at the game, prove it right now. I bet you can't do that. I bet you can't do that. Prove that you saw me at the game. Prove it. That's how we get to the bottom of that. Prove it. That's what I thought. I think we're done here. Yeah. That's what I see your 500, Papa, and I bet you I see your 500 and I'll raise you 1,000. Prove it that you see me there. Prove it. Prove that you see me at the game. You can't prove it. And you know why you can't prove it? Because I wasn't there. You lying. You're a liar. He's lying. 100% lying. Get the hell out of here. Liar. Liar. So, we got some other interesting topics that we're talking about today. In addition to the in-season tournament being on, right? In addition to the in-season tournament being on, and with the in-season tournament being on, we will give you live play-by-play action. Yes, we will. But we also got some other interesting topics. We started out, I started out my rant talking about Charles Barkley. Mm-hmm. I started out with my rant. No, since I'm also on I'm on TikTok right here. So I'm on TikTok live. So that's where I'm at. I'm in addition to doing this with you guys on YouTube, I'm also on TikTok live right here. Mm-hmm. This is also where I'm at. But started out my rant with Charles Barkley, and we do have some other interesting topics. I'm gonna let my man Tony Tone cue you guys in. But no, this ain't about me talking to the air. No, we on TikTok right here. We on TikTok live. Mm-hmm.
We do have a number of topics. By the way, I believe you're going to see it here in a minute if you haven't already. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm moving some stuff around. I'm doing some stuff because how I do things. We have the scoreboard finally active. So you can see we got the Spurs leading 50-43. Can you see that or no?
Yes, I can. 50-43. Yep. Live Excellent. On assists.
Excellent. There we go. On assists. So we got that on assists. So 50-43. We got the game. Watching the games over here. But we have topics. So let's go through our topics because we have some good ones. The first one, I'm gonna read a little bit. So I do apologize because I'm not a very good reader, as you know. Although I do have the font being huge. So this gentleman right here, we all know him. This is Penny Hardaway.
Yes, it is.
Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway. I'm going to read the quote. Over the years, to me, it is just getting worse and worse. Not in a bad way, but for me to watch, because I'm in college, I see the fundamentals and playing team ball and just shooting all threes now is just a little irritating to me to watch an NBA game. No one shoots layups anymore. It's fun to watch for fans, but for guys that were pure in the game, it's a little difficult.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about this?
Well, first of all, Tone, it's getting worse and worse, but not in a bad way. How can it not be in a bad way?
That's the part that I question. It's worse, but not in a bad way. And I was like, well, what other way is there other than
it's 100? I mean, what he's trying to do, Tony, is he's trying to be politically correct. What he really wants to say is the game sucks today. That's what he really wants to say. But he can't because he's worried about the backlash. That's really what he's worried about. He's worried about people getting on him. You're an old head, and this is what the old heads do. This is why the old heads suck, because they look at the game like it was when they played, and you guys don't play anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, I'm watching guys go down the lane, and they got layups, and instead of taking the layup, they're throwing the ball out to the long ball line. I watched Jason Tatum do it.
Infuriating.
Yes. And this is coming from a long ball shooter, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't coming from this isn't coming from like a casual fan. This dude is a long ball shooter. To hear him say, watching guys go down the lane and kick it out to him.
It's frustrating, not as a player who shot threes. I'd love it. The problem is, as a coach, who coaches children, who coaches youth players who are doing the same thing, it's driving me nuts. Because they don't shoot 35-40% from three.
No, they do not.
So they're giving up a layup where they hit 40% for a three that they shoot 10%. And I'm just like, dude, it's like, you had a layup. Take the layup.
And the reason why, this goes back to your original logic, Tone, when we talked about when the game started to open up, which was in 2000, when the NBA had decided that guys getting clothesline and guys getting, or we got games that are 84-79. People don't want to watch that anymore. No, people don't want to see that. They want to see the game opened up. So in addition to seeing the game open up, they wanted more fans to come back. Right? That's what we're going to bring the fans back. So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to take hand checking out of the game. We're going to take defensive 3 seconds and we're going to put that in the game. Why? Because we want to open up the offense even more. Enter the 7 seconds or less offense. Enter more scoring. Enter Steph Curry and Klay Thompson a couple of years later. And now what we have is we have this revolution of offense. And now ratings are what they are, because people are now coming back, because we no longer have 89 to 80 games. We no longer have 85 to 79 games. No, we don't have that anymore. But what has that done? We've gotten more offense, but it's been at the expense of guys actually knowing how to play basketball. So when you go down the lane, if I got a wide open layup, why am I throwing the ball out to the long ball line, Tone? What am I doing? No, if I got a layup. Well, 3 is more than 2. That's what analytics has done. Analytics has told me that the mid-range jump shot is worse today than it's ever been. That's what analytics has told me. That's what the mathematicians have told me, that you are better off shooting the long ball than you are shooting a wide open layup. Excuse me. Nice job. Castle is really good. Backing down Mikal Bridges and giving Mikal Bridges work. That's what the analytics have told me, that you're better off doing that.
I want to point out, just because you said Castle's really good, this Spurs team is really impressing me.
They got a good team, Tone.
They have a good team.
They got a good team.
And I got to tell you, they've been talking about trading for Giannis. I don't think they should do it.
Yeah. And not only should they not trade for Giannis, good pass, shoot the ball, nope. Go get it, big man. Up with it, good defense. Not only should they not trade for Giannis, I'm thinking to myself, Tone, whenever, and I think I'm in the minority, and I do understand it being right. I do understand it being I do understand it being a minutes restriction on Wemby. Wemby just looks weird on the bench. He just does. I understand the notion that
Giannis weird on the bench. LeBron looks weird on the bench.
Yeah, these dudes look weird.
Remember 85 when Jordan was 7 minutes and he looked weird on the bench.
Yeah, these dudes look weird on the bench. Like, why is Wemby sitting down? Why is he not on the floor? He should not be on. He should not be on the bench. Like ever.
Agreed.
So this Spurs team, they got a really good team. Yes, they do. They got a really good team. So I would not I don't think that I don't think that I would touch much of what's going on with this team. Now, I do understand the logic that it is Giannis, Tone. Let's not forget that part. It is Giannis. So we do have to entertain it. And would I be more apprehensive? Because I actually had this conversation on Saturday with my man Swiper on Chill with Chill on Saturdays on the Players Choice Network. Come check us out at 12 o'clock.
Well, hold on. Time out. With Swiper?
Yes, sir.
I thought it was with the Ox.
Swiper was a fill-in.
Okay.
Yes. Ox, it is still me and my man Ox. But what I was saying, what was I saying? I got thrown off the track that quickly.
My bad. I heard Swiper. Yes. And I was like, hold on.
Yes. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought that quickly. I was thinking about when I was talking about the Spurs, and I was talking about Wemby, and I was talking about.
And you said Giannis, and you're like, it is
right.
It is Giannis.
And we had a conversation about teams being a little there being some trepidation and apprehension about paying Giannis the Supermax extension. And I mean, maybe this might be a hot take, Tone, but I understand it. I would pay him. And I had said it. I said I would definitely pay him, but I do understand why there would be some apprehension on paying him off the strip that what have you seen over the last couple of years? He missed the playoffs 2 years ago. He's in and out of the lineup now. He's been hurt. This calf injury bothers me. You know how I'm not a fan of calf injuries, Tone. I don't play with that sort of stuff. And with that being said, no way. Nope. Rebound. Nice job. Mm-hmm.
I think this, the more I'm watching this game, the more I'm thinking it's going to go as scripted. San Antonio is going to win. They get Wemby in-season tournament championship, in-season tournament MVP. The Knicks go to the NBA final.
Fox is going to win. Fox is going to win the in-season tournament MVP.
You think?
Yes.
They're not going to give it to Wemby?
No. He ain't playing enough. He's on a minute restriction. It's either going to be Fox or Castle. I think it's going to be Fox, though.
I think, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I have a feeling something about the second half is going to be a lot of Wemby.
They only have him out there. They got him on, like I said, Tony, they got him on a minutes restriction. And I think that minutes restriction is 25 minutes. In the semifinals against Oklahoma City, that minutes restriction was 20 minutes. That's what the cutoff was. And that's what the cutoff was. Nice job, big man. Good rebound. Good shot. Rebound. Nope. Up fake. Could pass the OG Anunoby. Oh, yeah. Nope. Rebound. Oh, that should have been an and one. Call that, ref. Nice job, yo. Way to get to the rim. I like that. Way to get to the rim. OG Anunoby, when he's healthy, I just think he brings so much to this Knick group because he is their utility guy. Yes, that's who he is. Turnover again from Fox. OG Anunoby out on the break again. Nice job, yo. Yes, Tone, he is their utility guy. He's the guy that whatever, if you need a bucket, OG Anunoby is the guy. If you need a big rebound, he'll come up with that. You need a big stop, he'll come up with that. He's their ultimate utility guy. Josh Hart is their utility guy, but not like OG Anunoby. Nice shot, Fox.
We got it.
Nice shot.
Okay, we talked about trading. We talked about the Spurs trading for Wemby. So let's stick on the trade. Halftime 61-59. So we got a break here in the action. So let's talk about it. We talked about trading Giannis, and the Spurs should not do it. We're going to get to your question, Danny, about load management in 1 second, but you have to smash that like button, and then we'll get to that question. The Toronto Raptors have been listening, I guess to me, telling them that they suck, and they've been proving it with their play as of late. And now there is rumors that not only do they take your advice and my advice about shoring up their front line, they're not only going after Anthony Davis at the trade deadline, they're going to try and figure out a way to get Davis and Domantas Sabonis together.
I don't know how they do that, Tom. I would love to know how they were able to how they would be able to pull this off, because Anthony Davis is on the books. Because again, when you're talking about making trades like this, you're talking about big time money, right? And Anthony Davis this season is on the books. This season alone, Tone, after being traded, he's on the books this season, $54 million. Next season, $58 million, and he's got a player op in 27, 28 for $62 million. So you know my philosophy, Tone. If you're trying to move off of Anthony Davis, if you're trying to move for Anthony Davis, it's not going to be straight up, especially if you want to get Sabonis involved in this.
Right.
You're gonna have to get a third team involved in this.
We're
We're gonna have to get a third team involved in this. Yes, sir. We're gonna have to get a third team involved in this. Even though I think the addition of Anthony Davis would be great for this Toronto team. Okay, first of all, you don't have a rim protector. You don't have an interior presence. That's one of your biggest problems. Scotty Barnes is probably your best interior defender. Not just your best overall defender. He's definitely your best interior defender. That includes Jakob Poeltl. Scotty Barnes is probably your best interior defender. So with that being said, right? With that being said, what can we do to get Scotty Barnes some actual help? I don't think it's realistic to have Anthony Davis, who's on the books for $54 million, $58 million, and then a player op in 27 for $62 million. Meanwhile, Sabonis, he just signed an extension, and with him signing an extension, he's on the books for this season, $42 million, $45 million next season, and then $48. There is no player op. This is all guaranteed. So you don't have to worry about him opting out. So Sabonis is cheaper. Is Sabonis more durable than Anthony Davis? Because I think Anthony Davis is a better player. But for what you need a rebounder. You don't just need a rebounder. You need an interior presence on the block, on offense. You also need a rim protector. Anthony Davis is not coming cheap. 100%. It's going to cost a lot more to get Anthony Davis than it's going to cost to get Sabonis. But with getting Sabonis, you're not getting that interior presence as a defender. You're getting that glass cleaner, though. You're definitely getting that. So that's going to help, right? You're not getting that interior defender. And Anthony Davis, who, Tone, you know, because you hate it, because Anthony Davis hates the 5, which means he's going to have to go back to playing the 5.
No. But Sabonis at the 5.
We're not going to be able to get both of them, Tone. It's not going to work. Mm-mm.
Well, the whole point is that they're trying to get both of them.
If you're able to get both of them, yes, you can put Sabonis at the 5, put Anthony Davis at the 4. My issue with Anthony Davis is the whole playing himself into shape. I think that slowed him down. I do. I think that slowed him down, and I think that's put him in a space where he's not nearly as athletic as he used to be. Not only is he not athletic as he used to be, he's not as limber and as bouncy as he used to be. And because of that, I think that's taken away a lot of his game. Even though he's still awesome. He's still a double-double guy. He's still a 22, 23, 24 game guy. He's still a 10, 11 rebound a game guy. Now the question is that enough to really contend in the Eastern Conference with Sabonis, with Scotty Barnes? And what does Toronto have to give to both Sacramento and Dallas in order to get both of those guys on their team? Because
that's the interesting question. So I believe more and more with every passing day that Anthony Davis and let me I want to first apologize because I just got someone asked me what the hell am I looking at. I got TikTok here, I got YouTube here, and I got the game here. So just that's in case just don't. It's not. I apologize. I don't mean to be rude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Nikki. So here's the thing. Trill. I'll get to your question in a second. All right. I think Anthony Davis is going to be gotten on the cheap. And I think he's going to be that because I'm starting to believe more and more that the Dallas Mavericks do want to tank. I believe they thought that they were going to get an injured Anthony Davis, which they did, and that they would not be very good. And they tricked us all, including me. Because when you looked at the lineup and you went, you didn't know about Kyrie when we didn't know about Kyrie at this time. Kyrie healthy, Clay healthy, even though at his older age. PJ Tucker, Lively, Gafford, AD. They signed one other guy, and I can't remember his. Anyways, they had a couple of signings, and you're like, oh, this is gonna. I think they knew Kyrie's gonna be gone. AD, they just were betting on he was gonna get hurt. Yeah. Lively was like an added bonus, getting hurt, and they're like, okay, now we stink. So I think now they're just going to clean house, and nobody thought Clay was going to play that terrible. But listen, he's spending his time with a stallion. He doesn't have any strength left.
I got an interesting theory, Tone, and I was wondering, and I heard this, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Like you talked about the tanking logic, which I'm not a fan of, never really been a fan of, never really will be a fan of. We're not getting Irv back until after the All-Star break because of this torn ACL that he's still healing from.
Yeah.
Is it ridiculous? Is it ridiculous to tank while having Anthony Davis, while having these guys, while having Cooper Flag, and we end up getting a draft pick, a high draft pick, and we start this thing over next year?
But that's what I'm thinking. So now,
with keeping Anthony Davis, though, like we ain't trading Davis.
No,
we're not trading Irv. We're not trading none of them guys.
No, I think they understand what Davis is. I think they understand Davis is a trading piece to get draft picks, young players. And so I think Toronto or any team that trades can get him on the cheap. I think the same thing in Sacramento. They want to blow this thing up. They're trying to get rid of DeMar and Levine and Sabonis, like they got rid of Fox.
You think you can get them on the cheap?
So I think they can get both of these guys on the cheap, and that's why they're targeting them. Now, the money, they've got to figure out some contracts and stuff, and they're going to probably mortgage their future of every draft pick they have for the next decade.
Yep.
But if you have an opportunity to pair Scotty Barnes, Brendan Ingram, Anthony Davis, and Domantas Sabonis, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to. I don't think. Listen, I don't believe it's realistic. I think it's just a bunch of talk. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrie was on the Lakers by the All-Star break, Anthony Davis was in Atlanta by the All-Star break, and Domantas Sabonis wasn't in, I don't know, Milwaukee.
Well,
I don't know.
This is the
pick a team. Like I wouldn't be surprised if all three of them are in completely different places.
If you saw Anthony Davis in another city, Tone, after the All-Star break or the trade deadline, this would be, in your estimation, because you are the consummate businessman, this would absolutely be your business model. Fail fast. Okay, yeah. we got this wrong. We 100% got this wrong. We blew it.
We blew it. Everybody got hurt. So I'm not going to sit around and wait for them to get healthy. I'm gonna get people who think, hey, healthy, these guys are a good addition. Knock them out of here, bring them in, and off I go.
If you have Cooper Flag as your foundation, are you comfortable blowing this thing up and just building it around him, Tom?
Are you not? The way he's been playing now,
he's absolutely been great.
Because they're doing the exact thing that they did with Giannis.
Yep.
Jason Kidd's the coach. Put him at point. Watch him struggle. Get him comfortable. Bringing up the ball. Doing certain things that he's not comfortable doing. And guess what's going to happen?
He's going to turn
into a point forward, right? A three that has handle, and then you're gonna have all these draft picks and all this money, and you're gonna put a bunch of people around him. You're gonna fire Jason Kidd. You're gonna bring in a real coach. No offense.
There's no way that happens to Jason Kidd twice. No way. 100%. It happens to him twice, Toad. There's 100%. No way his luck could be that bad.
100%.
No way.
That's the model for a championship for the Las Vegas Sands. That's their name. That's their name. It's going to be the Las Vegas, because the guys who own the Sands Casino, right? It's the Las Vegas Sands. There you go.
For him, for Jason Kidd, who, by the way, Giannis was an advocate for going upstairs to management. Like, yo, what's going on?
Flag's going to do the same thing. He's going to be like, no, don't fire J Kidd. He's the one who. Sorry, Coop.
You got to go.
Sorry, Coop.
Nope, he's got to go. There's no way that this happens twice. It just doesn't.
Sure no way. History always repeats itself.
Yes, it does. But with Jason Kidd in the same situation, like I can see another coach.
Let me ask you a question. The Portland Trailblazers had the number 2 pick in the NBA draft.
Yep.
1984. Who do they pick?
Sam Bowie.
The Portland Trailblazers have the #1 pick in the draft. Who do they pick? Greg Oden.
Greg Oden.
History repeats itself. We in the Matrix. We just on the loop.
I think that's a little bit different though.
We're just on the loop.
Fair. No, I think that's totally unfair. I mean, there was some circumstances. I think there was some circumstances that
there might have been some circumstances, but you know what? There's also some news that we got to talk about.
Let's do it.
Con Knipple.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say it right?
Yes, sir. That's his name.
Con Knipple is
sir.
at least Charlotte thinks, the face of the franchise. No longer is it LaMelo Ball.
Yep.
Good move, bad move, and do you trade LaMelo now?
Well, I think he was already on the trade block, and I think that they were entertaining phone calls, but I think that they say that because they want to. I think the feeling is mutual in Charlotte. Now, there's some people that will say that these two guys, both LaMelo Ball and Charlotte, as an organization, they didn't want to part ways. Tone, he's played 36 games on average over the last 3 years. I mean, we can't build our unit around somebody like that. That's number one. Number two, is LaMelo Ball problematic? No, I don't think I don't think that he's an issue like that. But Con Knipple looks more like the cornerstone of the franchise, and it's not. And I know, and I'm going to say the thing that makes other people uncomfortable. It's not because he's white, because if he was black, it'd be the same thing. He looks like that kind of player that you can have as a cornerstone to your franchise. I'm gonna be here every day. I'm a professional. I'm gonna get busy every night. My availability won't be in question. I do keep myself in great shape. My game is going to improve. I was wrong about him. To be honest with you, when he first came in, I thought I was looking at Luke Kennard, maybe a better version of Luke Kennard.
Luke Kennard looks good.
Yeah, and he looks really good.
This season, at least, Luke Kennard looks real good. But
he looks really good.
What you mean.
That's what I thought I was looking at. Only except he actually looks like a better version of Rex Chapman when Rex Chapman was in Charlotte. So I love what I'm seeing from this kid. He's 6'6", shoot the hell out of the basketball, really smart. He will compete on defense. He looks like a player that we can build this thing around, and we're comfortable moving on with him as opposed to, man, what are we going to do about LaMelo Ball? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do about LaMelo Ball. See, when I'm with my man Tone, I do listen, and I've learned a couple things. And one of the things that I've learned by being around my man Tone is selling high is very important.
100%.
Selling high is extremely important.
Sell high, low. Who's your baby?
How do you sell high? You sell high by putting the product out there and letting people see it so it can become that. Don't just hand it over. So we want LaMelo Ball on the floor. And when LaMelo Ball starts to ball out and he gets busy for a month and a half, guess what happens to that stock? It goes through the roof. Now we put that stock on the lot. We put that car on the lot. We just cleaned it up. It might be a lemon tone. I ain't saying that it's. I'm not
no. You know exactly. Look, this is how it works. I wish I was GM of Charlotte. I'm calling you up, whatever team you are, and you'd be like, "Yo, check this out. This is what I want for LaMelo, because you need that. You need a guard like him. That's what you need on your roster, because you've done your research. I know who it is. And you're like, what do you want for him? Tone, you crazy. Like, watch the next 3 games. I'm gonna put him out there for you so you can check out the merch. You're gonna watch, and he's gonna, like you said, he's gonna LaMelo Ball out, and you'd be like, and you're gonna call me back and be like, you know what? You were right. You'll still negotiate. You'll try to make that first a second or 2 seconds or whatever, and I'll be like, no, and we'll figure it. And we'll do the deal.
No,
and then you'll get the deal. I'll be happy. You'll be happy, and then you'll get him. And then you'll start to drive it around and realize I bought myself a lemon.
This thing is a lemon.
You'll never want to deal with me again. But that being said, I'll be like, no, he was good. We checked him out. That's why I showed him to you. I knew the whole time he was a lemon.
You did know that. and you lied to me.
100%.
You sold me a lemon, no doubt about it.
100%.
Mhm. You sold me a lemon, 100%. You did.
That's all. So speaking of lemons, let's make some lemonade.
Yeah.
I heard that the issues in Buffalo with the Braves, aka the LA Clippers, aka the San Diego Paperclips, started when Chris Paul became the leader of the second unit.
Mhm.
And here's the quote. The team envisioned Paul's role as an end-of-the-bench veteran leader who needed little maintenance, sources said. We were kicking their forward John Collins recently told ESPN. Every day we were kicking their starters' asses. So basically, Chris Paul, instead of being a nice veteran sitting on the end of the bench and getting his gray hairs, he led John Collins and the other second unit players, and they were beating Kawhi and Harden, and they're beating the first unit guys. Your thoughts on that?
Well, somebody clearly did.
FYI, we are going to 10:30, correct? I just wanted to, right or no?
No.
8:30 to 10:30? No, 10:15.
Yeah.
5?
10:15. Yeah.
The game is restarted, by the way.
Mhm.
That's a
10:15
deep
is
three. Woo!
10:15 is good. Mhm.
That was.
think
I don't know
you
if we're all at the same time.
Yeah.
What time do you have on yours?
I got the third quarter just started 11:16.
Oh, I'm at 11:23. I'm a little bit behind you. That's why.
Mhm. So yeah, De'Aaron Fox.
Watch slower. You got
De'Aaron
that must
Fox
be
cracked the three.
Spanish Jose is like Fox going off, and then I'm like, he is, and then bam, he hits it.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm
He's
behind.
been getting busy. He definitely has been getting busy. But
Okay.
to answer your question, Tone, well, Chris Paul didn't get the memo about being washed. He didn't get the memo about.
Well, he is washed, but
Oh, he 100% is. But
yeah.
he didn't get the memo about this being his last
practice.
season.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to kick the starter's ass in practice. Like, wait a minute, who came up with that idea? Because no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that at all. So that is not happening. With that being said, knowing who Chris Paul is and knowing the type of dude he is, I promise you, Tone, he was probably in the midst of kicking their ass and letting them know about it too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, probably kicking their ass and letting them know about it. And the downside.
That's why, just like me, you never want to chip beard. You should probably shave that thing. You'd be a little bit quicker. Look like you got some pork chops up in there. Come on, man.
Oh my goodness.
Luke Kennard just took Cat's shoulder right to the face. That was again. I'm a few seconds behind. That's all we have for topics.
Yes, sir.
Did you put? All right, so let's go watch. I guess we're gonna go watch the second half.
Yes, sir.
Boom, missed.
Mhm.
Okay, tell me. I know you're a couple seconds behind, but tell me Bridges didn't just have a drive for a dunk there, and instead he shot a corner three.
Wide open, Tom.
Wide open.
Wide open in the corner.
Drives me nuts.
Yes, wide open.
I love the 3-pointer. I shoot 40 of them. Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of this, we got our dum dum of the week this week. So I'm in a Twitter battle with someone because I'm looking and I see there's a lot of people watching on Twitter. So I'm gonna ask the question. So we were talking about Michael Jordan's 3-point shooting.
Yep.
Someone said something that was correct, factually correct. OG to the stripe. And I said, yes, but like with everything, I'm not a big fan of just saying this because I feel like there's always context needed. So what the person had said was Jordan's, 5 seasons, he shot 13%, 18%, 17%, 16% from three. And I said, that's factually true. And it is factually true. I said, however, for those that aren't just on the narrative kind of troll train, we know that, he shot 16%, but he also shot 0.6 per game. Yeah. And then he shot 18%, it was 0.9 per game. So I'm like, I'm shooting 1 per game, 1 every other game. And don't forget, now we don't even count the heaves at the end of quarters, at the end of halves, whatever. We don't count those.
Which they did back then, by the way.
They did back then. So I said, we don't know. I don't know how many of them those were because they didn't have that stat. But that being said, I'm like, even if it was a wide open, actual in-game, in-rhythm 3.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm taking 1 per game. A guy who takes 22 shots per game Even if he shoots 0%, I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the game because he's shooting one. The teams were shooting between, in those years that they showed, between 5 and 7
A game.
a game. Do you know that there's over 25 players today shooting more than that alone?
Just players, not even teams.
Not teams. So I said, so it's not important, even if it was 0%. And I said, but look at the years where he shot 2 or more. 37%, 35%, right? And I go, so, just keep that. I go, just for information, I'm not saying he's a good 3-point shooter. I'm just saying, understand those low percentages came with not shooting any. And when he did shoot, he actually shot it well for those days. Then a guy who I think is agreeing with me at first says, well, and the NBA didn't even have a 3-point line until he turned 16, and he never saw one until he got into the NBA. And I said, to be fair, because I'm giving the other guy context, so I'm going to give context on both sides.
It's also factually correct.
I said, that's factually incorrect. Because in his second season at the University of North Carolina, Jordan did play in certain games because some conferences had a 3-point line. Not the ACC that he played in.
That's what I'm saying.
But he did play games in college with a 3-point line where he actually shot. I can't remember the exact number. It was, I don't know, maybe he shot 34 of 76. He shot 44% from 3.
I'm pretty confident that the 3-point line didn't come in college basketball until 85.
It didn't come officially everywhere till 85, but there were certain
85.
conferences, certain teams had it. So he did play. In fact, like I said, he shot 76 3-pointers in college. Do you know what percentage of his total shots that was?
Like maybe 1%.
14.
Yeah.
That is significant. So all I said was, for context, because let me be clear, what he said was the 3-point line didn't exist when he was in college. And I said, that's
not true.
That's not true. It did exist. It was just scarce. And
I didn't know that it was in other places. I thought about 1985, which is the time when he left school. That was the information that I got.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they was playing in other conferences.
The Midwest.
I know that they ain't have it in the Big East. I know they ain't have it in the Big Ten.
Didn't have it in Big Ten. Didn't have an ACC, but the Missouri State Conference, Missouri Valley Conference, the Midwest Conference. So there were still 14% of your shots is enough to say it existed.
Yeah.
And he said it didn't exist. And I said, and all I said was, well, it did exist because he shot 76 of them. In fact, he's like, well, it was only 17 feet, so it doesn't count. I'm like, no, depending on where he played, it was anywhere between like 19 and 22 feet.
Right.
But to admit, I said, so I then play a joke on him and I say, well, if it didn't exist, how did they measure how far it was? Because he said it was only 17.9. And I said, and I go, well, hold on, how did they measure something that didn't exist?
Right.
I go, I said, no, I'm just giving you facts so you understand. Like, don't say stuff that's incorrect. And I'm playing both sides, so I'm getting yelled at by LeBron. Or sorry, I'm getting yelled at by Michael Jordan fans, and I'm getting yelled at by Michael Jordan haters at this in the same conversation, which I thought was quite hilarious.
That was Cat's fault, Tone. Cat is the one. He's got a smaller guy on him in the mid. He's got a smaller guy on him in the mid range. He's got to take that shot instead of throwing the ball out
to the corner for a 3.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of that. You got the reason why they go to you in that specific space at the nail is because you got to go after him. Like if you got he had Devin Vassell on him. You got to go after Devin Vassell. You cannot let Devin Vassell off the hook.
But you know, as much as I love, no one loves a 3 more than me. I do understand why some of these guys are like pass, corner 3, pass, corner 3. Like it is kind of like I'm delayed. All right. That being said, the question that I said I'd get back to was where they asked about what do you think about load management?
Yep. What do I think about load management? I am not a fan of it. I think that in order for you to get better, you have to play. And not only do you have to play, but I mean, it's your job. And if you are able to go and teams are holding you out, I think that you need to let everybody else know that. I think that you need to put that out there very much like what Zion did last season when they were holding Zion out of the lineup and Zion came on television and let him, I am able to play. They are holding me out of the lineup. This is not me sitting down. I think that it's up to you to rectify the situation, because when people hear load management, they immediately think that it's you.
Yeah, the
You
players.
don't want to play.
Yeah, I'm going to sit out. I'm tired.
Yeah, this is you. You're the one taking the night off, not realizing that, listen, I'm available to play. They're making me sit. And yes, there are some times when you do have to save players from themselves. And I've always been an advocate, right? I've always been an advocate that you do the nights off that you have are the games that you don't play. Right.
100%. They've eliminated most back-to-backs. They've eliminated, 4 and 5 nights. Like
we don't do that nearly as much. If I'm not mistaken, Tone, I think the San Antonio Spurs, they play tonight in the championship game, which is Tuesday. I don't think they play again until Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. I can check their schedule right now. I'll tell you right now, bear with me, Tone, really quickly. The San Antonio Spurs team in this season, in the 2025-26 season, their schedule, their next game is Thursday. They play not Saturday. They play Thursday against the Wizards on Thursday. And they played Oklahoma City on Saturday, and then they beat them, and then 3 days later, and then they play again tonight. So the Knicks, who, let me make sure that I get this correct, Tone, when we are talking about scheduling, the Knicks, they play tonight, and they don't play again. They play on Thursday too. And then they play Friday, then they play Sunday, then they play Tuesday, and then they play on Christmas. And they play Saturday on the 27th, and they play Monday. So they got a pretty action-packed schedule. So I feel like your days off are your days off are the days that you don't play. We don't have a game that night. And practice has been way different today than what it was years ago.
Yeah.
Wait, practice is way different, Tone. So because of that,
yeah,
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm a fan of that. I am. I'm definitely a fan of that.
And let me just say, my thoughts on load management are, I'll agree with what you said, but then I'll say just the definition of load management. So let's be very clear what it means. If you're hurt, that's not load management.
I can't go.
Yeah, load management is I'm healthy, I'm able, and I am choosing not to play. Now, Greg, everyone's like, blame Pop. Yeah, you're right. Pop would sit healthy players for rest, and I think that was horrible. And let me just talk about the NFL for a second. How many times has a team clinched first place? They let their guys rest the last week of the season. Then they come out, and then either they have a bye or they come out the next week and they look horrible. And a lot of times they'll lose.
Denver did that in 2013.
It happens a lot.
With Peyton Manning.
I think if you're able, so when I say load management, I talk about when you're able to play and not when you're hurt.
Yes.
And that I just think, and I go back to something Kobe said, where it's like, if I'm able to go, there's a guy that paid way too much money to sit way up in the nosebleeds, and this might be his only chance.
He came to see me. He came to see me, and I'm playing.
Like I would hate for Kid to be his first Laker game this year, especially one's not in LA, right? It's his first Laker game this year.
Yep.
And it's the first time he's ever going to watch LeBron James play live. And LeBron, I'm just using him as an example because he's at the end.
Sure.
And he load managements. He's able to play and he doesn't.
Right.
And that's that one kid's one and only chance to see him, and then he retires. And he'll always remember, I went to the Lakers game to watch LeBron sit on the bench. That's heartbreaking.
I never got to see him. I never actually got to see him play.
That would be terrible.
Yes.
And I don't care. I don't care if it's LeBron. I don't care if it's Kevin Durant. It doesn't matter who it is. I'm just saying that's why it's almost like if you're gonna do it, do it at home. They got you for 41 games.
Yeah.
The East-West, right? Like, just think about it. The Lakers come to Toronto once a year.
That's it, Tone. They only get us one time up there.
right? The Nuggets come here one time.
That's it.
The Timberwolves come here one. Like
the Golden
all
State
guys,
Warriors. Curry only comes up here once a year. That's it.
Once a year. You gotta play.
Yeah,
you gotta
man.
play.
Yes.
So that's my. I'd say that's my take on that.
Yeah.
If you can't go back to back. Okay, let me see what this question is. If you can't go back to back games, is that considered load management like Mark Williams?
Oh.
What the hell was that? What a horrible pass.
What the hell was that?
I don't even know what the hell.
I'm not even laughing at that, Tone, because you're behind me. Once you see what you're about to see, yes, that's what I'm laughing at. What the hell? Yeah.
What am I watching?
Wow. Wemby is incredible.
Like,
Wemby is incredible. Yes.
just throw it. You know what it reminds me? It's like when Dante Culpepper used to play with Randy Moss. I'm just gonna throw it.
Just throw.
I know he's out there somewhere.
Run and I'm gonna throw it. Run and I'm just gonna throw it. So, oh my goodness, that was incredible. Oh my goodness,
this dude is an alien. And if he knocks down a three, oh okay. I was gonna say if he just again, I'm behind you, so it's just
Wemby is incredible. That's all I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen. Wemby is incredible.
I hope he never twists an ankle. I hope he never gets an ingrown toenail.
No,
ingrown hair. I want to see 12, 15 years of this kid.
That's what I'm hoping, Tom. We're in year 3 right now. Can I get
12 more years? I'm greedy.
I'm thinking 10, Tone. Can I get a decade? If I could get a decade more, I can get 10 more years of this.
First two haven't been.
No, right? They haven't been. Right? They definitely haven't been. If I can I get a decade of Wemby?
Do you think he could be a 5-time DPOY, 5-time MVP? And if he was,
the NBA,
and if he was,
won't allow it.
They won't allow it.
They
won't let him get 5.
They won't allow it.
Okay, let me ask you this: if he did get 5 DPOYs and 5 MVPs,
and won 3 championships, we having a way different conversation. We talking about him like the GOAT. That's what we doing. In 13, if he did that in 13 years, Tone, we talking about him like the GOAT.
If he goes 5, 5, and 5, 5 MVPs, 5 DPOYs, not all in the same year, 5 championships, 5 Finals MVPs. So $5, $5, $5, $5, like they used to do at Pizza Hut.
Yep.
Is there no more debate?
Well, I see your Wemby, Tone, and I raise you 2006 after the Miami Heat win the NBA championship. Shaq says, I'm out. How we talking about Shaq, Tone?
If he walks away, then
I'm out.
He's higher up.
In 2006, if Shaq says, I'm out, I got 14 years, I got 4 NBA championships, I don't want to play no more, I'm good. How we talking about Shaq?
There's an alternate universe. I want to tell you about this alternate universe. Since we're doing this now, and I know we're way over. We're gonna end soon, but stick around, smash the like button, subscribe, all these good things, and it's a 10-point lead right now for the Spurs. Like I said, I think they're winning. Like I said,
good shot.
Cat, how do you feel about 7-footers shooting threes? Anyways, there's an alternate universe where in 1990. Scottie Pippen doesn't get a migraine. I just want you to know, other than Michael Jordan, if you take the next 4 starters and their 6th man, then those 5 guys, so the other 4 starters and the 6th man, BJ Armstrong, do you know that they shot like 11% from the field that game?
Horace Grant was terrible that night.
All of them. He was
awful.
17. They were all. Pippen was 1 of 10. BJ, they shot 11%.
He sucked.
So there's a universe where that migraine doesn't happen and the Bulls win that game. They then go on to face the Portland Trailblazers. They win that. They win that championship.
Okay.
They then still three-peat.
So they winning in 90, they winning in 91, and
They're winning,
in 92.
they're winning four
So
in a
they're
row.
winning 4 in a row. So they winning in 93 too. Okay.
So they win the 4 in a row. But hold on. Here's the alternate universe that gets crazy. Because they've won that, Jordan is able to pay off his gambling bets and he doesn't get suspended. And his dad isn't murdered because he didn't owe anybody any money. And so they win the next 2. That's 6.
Oh my God.
They then still, and then they make, and Horace doesn't leave because they're winning and Jordan's still there, right? Horace only leaves because Jordan's gone and they don't win in 94, and then he leaves. That's why he goes to Orlando.
So they win 9 in a row is what you're saying, Tom.
No, I'm not done.
Oh boy.
So they win. So they still make then the move for Rodman. They win the 3 in the row.
Mm-hmm.
And now having won 9 in a row, Jerry Krause can't be like, I'm blowing it up.
He can't do that now.
So he says, fine, I'm going to sign everybody to 1 more year contracts. It's a shortened season, only 50 games.
They win it again.
They win it again and they win 10 in a row.
Oh my God.
Is there any doubt now?
No.
There is. It's with all this Marvel stuff. We look at all the different multiple universes. So it's just I find that
Can you guys imagine that? Are you kidding me?
10 in a row. There's a world where that happened. If you believe in multiverses, there's a universe. In fact, anyways, there's also a universe where the Buffalo Bills won 4 straight Super Bowls.
I would that universe. I want to see it. To be honest with you, that universe I want to see.
There's certain third world countries, right, that get all the other shirts.
Oklahoma City, 2012 NBA champions.
Yeah. LeBron is 6-4. That's why they think the Philippines. That's why the Philippines thinks he's the GOAT because they got.
Oh my goodness!
He beat the Spurs. He beat the Cavs. He beat the Warriors 3 out of 4 tries.
Did they make any shirts in 2018? I don't think they made any shirts.
In fact, the only one he lost was the one that they were down 3-1 and came back from, the best one. That's the.
In 2017, did they make shirts? No, they ain't make no shirts for him in 2017. Hell no. Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
yo, y'all know where to find me and my man Tony Tone at. We do this not every other. We do this every Tuesday. Me and my man Tony Tone right here on the Chilltown Hoops Network and on the Sports Fluent Network. Right here, we do it every Tuesday night. Me and my man Tony Tone. We got Christmas coming up, so there may be a little bit of a gap, but we will be back. We got some reconfigurating to do, but we will be back. We will see you guys soon. We will continue to bring you this content. We know you love it. We will be here for you guys. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. I'm actually going to see my mother next week.
I saw mine today for lunch.
There you go. Call your mother, guys. Call your mother. We will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. But take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys tonight. This was super dope. No doubt.
Let's go Spurs.
Later.
Fluent Chill, we call it how it's played from the field to the court. Every legend is away. Fourth quarter heat, over 2-minute drill. If you can't handle truth, better chill with the skill. LeBron or MJ.